Do you ever have a challenge of having a weak or a tasteless cup of coffee? A common cause to this challenge is because you might be using pre-grinded old steel coffee, and this is why you can't make good coffee like a professional barista in a cafe. But today I have a good solution to this. Let me introduce you to an amazing coffee grinder. This is the Geimori GU38. It's a single dose coffee grinder which was launched a few weeks ago. This coffee grinder caught my attention because of its grinding capabilities. It can grind from espresso, AeroPress, pour-over coffee, French press, and even cold brew. And it promises to deliver pro-level result on a budget-friendly price. This is why I'd like us to unbox it and test it, so we can see what this coffee grinder can deliver. Inside the box, it's the coffee manual of the grinder, the Geimori GU38 grinder itself, small, steady and compact, a cleaning brush, a magnetic dosing cup, and a power cord. Here's our coffee grinder. Setting up, it's very easy because it has minimum parts that you need to arrange, and it's fully compact and solid. Its build quality, it feels very strong because it's made out of metal. It weighs around 3 kilos, and this coffee grinder feels like it has been built to last. Now let me guide you through the 5 key features of the GU38. I believe this coffee grinder is a game changer to many home baristas and coffee professionals. But before we dive into the features, I have a question for you. What's your opinion about single dose coffee grinders? Do you love them, or it's your first time hearing about them? If it's your first time, then don't worry. I'm going to give you a brief introduction about single dose coffee grinders. As a barista or as a coffee lover, you must know about this bad boy because they are becoming popular each and every day, and many people are falling in love with them. By the end of this video, you will know what I'm talking about when it comes to the single dose coffee grinder. Here's the basic knowledge that you must know about these single dose coffee grinders. They are designed to grind your coffees fresh. You only weigh the dose that you need. For example, you can weigh 20 grams. You grind all the 20 grams into your dosing cup, transfer it in your pot filter, and you'll be able to extract your shot of espresso. These coffee grinders will help you minimize the wastage because they have zero retention. So even when you're changing to another coffee beans or a different roast profile, you don't need to pull one shot and throw it. You only need to put in the next coffee beans and you'll be able to grind them very well. These are ideal coffee grinders for people that want to change different coffee beans. Most coffee shops, they will use these coffee grinders for making the pour-over coffees, and they are perfect for home baristas. Now, let's talk about the key features of this coffee grinder. The first thing, this is a single dose coffee grinder with a 38mm high quality stainless chronic burrs for uniform particle size each time when you're grinding your coffee. It also has a high speed motor of 190 RPM, which grinds your coffee very fast and also produces less noise. The Stepless grinder adjustment, which doesn't make any sound when adjusting your grind setting, is an amazing feature which helps you to smoothly adjust your grind setting. But not only that, this coffee grinder has 65 grind settings from 0 until 65. This is what is going to enable you grind your coffee for espresso, AeroPress, mocha pot, pour-over coffee, French press, and even cold brew. And this coffee grinder has less than 0.1 gram of retention. We will be testing this later on in the video. And the magnetic dosing cup, which is perfectly built to fit on the 51mm pot filters for most of the home espresso machines, like the Breville and many more others. This dosing cup makes it effortless to transfer your grinded coffee into your pot filter and extract your shot of espresso. With all these amazing features of the GU38, now it's time to put it to a test in real life. I'm going to be dialing in a shot of espresso to be testing the grinding time of this coffee grinder, the retention system, and the particles that it produces after grinding. So let's start by weighing our 18 grams of coffee. I'm going to set this coffee grinder on my fine grind size, which is ideal for my shot of espresso. Using the manual of this coffee grinder, there is a guide for the different grind sizes of the brew methods. So you can try with these ones, then you find your perfect one depending on the coffee beans that you're using. After adding my 18 grams of coffee beans in the coffee bean hopper, I'll start my grind and I'll start the time. And to see how long it's going to take this grinder to grind these coffee beans. Now our coffee is finished. It took 57 seconds to grind 18 grams for our shot of espresso, and the retention system is spot on. 18 grams in, 18 grams out. We can transfer it to the pot filter. This is what I was talking about. This magnetic dosing cup fits very well on a 51mm pot filter for my Breville Barista Express. Look at that flow of the shot of espresso. It means the chronic burrs inside this coffee grinder are grinding consistently the particles of coffee. And this is what is resulting into this good extraction of our shot of espresso. Let's test this coffee grinder with our next coffee drink, and I'm going to be making my favorite iced coffee, which is the iced V60. For this iced V60, I'll use still 18 grams so that we can compare about the grinding time of the espresso and the iced V60. Adjust my dial on a medium coarse grind size, which is my ideal grind size for making my iced V60. Setting my timer and see how long it's going to take for this coffee grinder to grind coffee for the V60. For the iced V60, it took this grinder 26 seconds to grind 18 grams, and also the retention is still spot on, 18 grams in, 18 grams out. This is really amazing about the zero retention of this coffee grinder. Now let's transfer it in the V60 dripper so we can brew our iced V60. Wow, this V60 is really tasting very well. It's well balanced, it's clear, and it gives you all the tasting notes that you need from this cup of coffee. Now here's a summary of the result from the two testings that we've made. If you're grinding coffee on a fine grind size, this coffee grinder will take a much longer time. And if you're grinding on a coarser grind size, it will take a less grinding time. The retention system in this coffee grinder is really spot on. I have no doubt about it. The first thing that I've loved with this coffee grinder, it makes very less noise when you're grinding your coffee. Compared to the grinder of my Breville Barista Express, this coffee grinder is much silent when you're grinding, and the consistent in the coffee particles that you get when you grind your coffee using this coffee grinder is really mind-blowing. The only downside I have faced while using this coffee grinder is the long grinding time that it takes when you're grinding your coffee beans for espresso. It takes almost 1 minute to grind 18 grams. But apart from this, this is a small compacted coffee grinder that I would recommend to any home barista or professional who wants to experiment different coffee beans. It's small, it can fit on top of your kitchen counter, and for small coffee shops that want to make V60, this is a good coffee grinder which will allow you grind the different grinding size for AeroPress, V60 and Chemex. I would recommend this coffee grinder to most home baristas. If you want to have the best taste and flavor in your cup of coffee, you should at least have this coffee grinder because it's budget friendly. Right now, this GU38 is going for $300. And if you're any person who's pre-grinding your coffee, I would recommend for you to have this coffee grinder. I believe this coffee grinder will change the way you make your cup of coffee, and it will give you the best flavors into your cup of coffee, like for a professional barista. If you want to know more about this coffee grinder, you can check in my description. I have a full link about it. And if you have any question about this coffee grinder, link it in the comment section below. I'll be answering each and every question that you might be having about this coffee grinder. But if you want to know more about how you can dial in a good shot of espresso, I would recommend for you to watch this video next, because it's a full detailed video to help you understand how you can dial in a good shot of espresso.